Hi, I'm Andrea with Everett Public Library. Welcome to Sunday Night Stories. Before we start our story, we're going to start with a science spot. As you may know, there are three main diets of animals. Animals that eat only plants are herbivores. Animals that eat only meat are carnivores. And then you have omnivores, animals that eat both meat and plants. Now, our ecosystem needs to have all three of those. If you have too many or too few of any of those, it can completely change your ecosystem. Carnivores often have have really strong jaws and sharp teeth so that they can tear up their food. They often have long claws to help tear up their food as well. Herbivores, the ones that eat plants, grasses, bark, nuts, a lot of times they have to eat all the time to stay alive. They also have really complex digestive systems. For example, the cow has 4 parts of its stomach. The first part starts to digest the food. The second part adds saliva, mixes it up, and makes cud. The cow then burps up the cud and continues chewing it so it can absorb more of the nutrients. The third part of the stomach absorbs the water, and the fourth part finishes the digestion process. They also have special teeth and special equipment. Their teeth. A lot of times they're flat so that they can grind up their food. Omnivores have an advantage in the ecosystem because they can eat meat or plants. So if there's a lot of meat, they can eat that. If there's a lot of plants or not enough of one or the other, they can survive that way. They have the tools of carnivores, those sharp teeth, but then they also have those flat molars like herbivores to help grind their food. That was our science spot. Tonight's story, Carnivores by Aaron Reynolds. We have permission to read this book from Chronicle Books. Carnivores, written by Aaron Reynolds, illustrated by Dan Santat. The lion is known throughout the animal kingdom as king of the beasts. The great white sharks is the most feared predators in the ocean. And the timber wolves' howl strikes terror in the hearts of fuzzy woodland creatures everywhere. But even savage carnivores get their feelings hurt. The lion tries to ignore it when the gazelles whisper behind his back. He pretends not to see the zebras looking down their noses at him. The wildebeests call him Bad Kitty just because he eats half the neighborhood. It hurts. It really does. The great white shark. He gets such a bad rap. All those shark movies don't help. Everyone talks about his feeding frenzies, but he's simply a fast eater. Nobody understands. And the timber wolf almost never eats little girls. That Little Red Riding Hood story is very misleading. The bunny rabbits always say, "Quit sneaking up on me." But he's not sneaking. He's merely a quiet walker with vicious fangs and scary eyes. He can't help it. So it was just a matter of time before the lion, the great white shark, and the timber wolf started hanging out. Because even carnivores need to share their feelings. At their first get-together, the timber wolf came up with an idea that might solve everything. We'll go vegetarian. The lion tried to enjoy a salad, but leaves and bark kept getting stuck in his razor-sharp teeth. The great white shark ate nothing but seaweed for a whole day, but it left a horrible kelpy aftertaste in his mouth. And the timber wolf tried his hardest to eat only berries, but every single berry bush seemed to have a bunny inside. they realized that being vegetarians was a silly idea in the first place. Before long, the great white shark came up with a fabulous new idea. New outfits will fit right in. At first, the lion's antelope disguise worked out terrific. Everyone treated him so nicely. But when the other antelopes smelled his zebra breath, it was all over. The great white shark blended right in with the dolphins. Nobody suspected him of being bloodthirsty at all until the dolphins disappeared. And the timber wolf kept drooling on all the bunnies. The disguise idea was a dud, which was very frustrating, which made them all hungrier than ever. As a last resort, the lion invited the oldest and wisest carnivore he knew to come and speak to the group. The great horned owl was happy to be included. "What should we do?" asked the lion. "Everyone is mean to us," said the great white shark. "I never know what to say," said the timber wolf. The owl smiled. It used to hurt my feelings too. But now I remind myself, I'm not bad. I'm carnivore. Eating meat is just what I do. "I'm not bad," whispered the lion. "I'm a carnivore," confessed the white shark. "Eating meat is just what I do," declared the timber wolf. The wise owl was brilliant. It turned out he was also delicious. These days, things are different. The lion doesn't dread going to the waterhole anymore. When the zebras give him nasty looks, he smiles his friendliest smile and eats them. The great white shark feels much better about gobbling everyone up in sight. He knows that he's a husky fish with a healthy appetite. When the timber wolf gets the munchies, he doesn't think twice about grabbing a handful of bunnies. They have really negative attitudes anyway. After all, they're not bad. They're carnivores. Eating meat is just what they do. The Carnivores by Aaron Reynolds. Thank you for joining me tonight.